This is Brian again. We'll be getting started in the next minute or two. And just for the people that are already here, to let you know, I do have Megan Carey, who's on the webinar with me, and she's going to be monitoring your questions. And we're going to take care of the questions at the end. I'm going to try to go through the agenda of the most important things relative to the Facebook and referral setup, as well as the ROI. And then at the end, we can go through all the questions as much as we possibly can to cover all those things. So I'm going to give it about one more minute, and then I'm going to get started. And I thank you guys for coming. This is Run Signup's Endurance Event Education webinar series. This is the second installment. Hopefully the second installment goes a little bit smoother than the first installment. We've got a new router here in the office and learned a few things from the last webinar. So appreciate those who attended last time. Hopefully it's a little bit smoother process. And we look to be doing these monthly. We'll probably have a few quick webinars in between highlighting some new features that we're going to be releasing as well. But the purpose of this webinar series is to continue to educate existing customers and potentially people who are not customers about features that RunSignUp have and how they work and how to best utilize them. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So just to reiterate, the purpose of today is to talk about RunSignUp and Facebook. It's a hot topic on a daily basis with virtually everyone that I speak with. Everyone wants to know how to utilize Facebook and what tools does RunSignUp provide to help me get the most out of Facebook. And we're going to be talking specifically today, spending a lot of time on our referral setup. This has been a really good feature that we've released. On average, we're seeing across our entire book of business of clients that have our referral setup turned on, about 7 to 9% of their registrations are coming from this referral program. And we're going to go over how the mechanics of what makes a participant want to do this and how to set it up in RunSignUp and some best practices on that. The first thing that I wanted to show you guys is actually, let's go ahead and blow this up here. I always think it's important to share with someone true return on investment, or for shortened ROI. And this is a client that's been utilizing our referral program, and they're doing quite well. Actually, probably we have several clients in this range in terms of referred percent, number of registrations that have come from the referral program. Just to highlight a few quick things that I found impactful from this. The first thing is that our referral program has generated 2,776 page views of their rates. That's pretty significant if you bought any ads and think about how much money you'd have to spend to get 2,776 page views. The next thing is they've got 132 completed and paid registrations. For those 132 paid registrations, they paid $255 back to participants in referral refund. That's pretty effective. That's actually under $2 a participant in cost per acquisition. And there's been 17 referral refunds and actually 15 physical refunds, meaning payments issued to the participants. And for a total revenue generated of $8,200, and that's where that estimated ROI comes from. And so for this particular client, they have to be ecstatic with this. I would say this is a bit of an outlier, but not impossible to achieve. I think part of their success has been a strong advertising program. The real benefit of this is getting a large funnel of participants coming into your race, and then this amplifies your advertising spend because those participants are turning around and recruiting and inviting their friends to come participate with them. So I wanted to start off with that to show you guys that it does in fact work. This is a little bit higher than normal, but I'm going to go over that and some of the best practices why I think this particular race did well. So the first thing is I wanted to show you guys the tagging mechanism that we implemented with Facebook. So I'm not going to go through the entire registration process because many of you have been through a registration process. I want to specifically show you the Facebook tagging mechanism that the participant will see at the end of registration. So if we hit Facebook, it's automatically opening this up. And this is going to be an option for the participant when they check out. They have the option to share via email. They have the option to share via Twitter or to share via Facebook. Facebook is by far the most popular, but we do support the others. So you can autofill this message. In this case, I'm going to be able to specifically put in my own message here. Come run with me. I can look for a friend. So I could say, oh, let me tag Bob Pickle, and maybe I want to tag Matt Sinclair, who works at RunSignUp as well, and I can hit post to Facebook. When I do this, Bob and Matt are going to receive a notification on their Facebook wall that they've been tagged by this participant to come run with them. And within this tag, we're going to have an embedded URL, a special URL specifically for this participant, that if Bob or Matt were to click on this post, they will automatically be categorized and tagged to that participant as I'm the person that recruited Bob and Matt. So it's an automatic tracking link built into this tagging mechanism. So what I'm going to do now is to say, okay, well, I think I get the idea. Participants are tagging their friends. Those friends are getting a notification on Facebook. So how do I make that work? What do I do? Well, let's look at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on, in the RunSignUp admin dashboard for race directors, we're going to click on promotion, and then we're going to click on referral tracking. Actually, before we do that, I want to show you guys social sharing. I think this is important to do that before the referral tracking. So social sharing are settings that you can set up specifically to your social sharing. And what we're looking at here is a lot of information about specific wording that you can customize for various different things that participants are doing. So the confirmation share message, the Facebook shared link message. My opinion is, generally speaking, use the messaging that we have because it seems to be fairly effective, and it doesn't require any work on your part to just use the default. If you choose to customize these options, you do have the ability to go in and customize these things. Typically, you're going to want to run this by your account manager because we are pulling in variable fields and using what's called replacement tags. And the replacement tags are these items here, which is %referral_link. And what that's doing is it's going to pull in the referral link for each participant. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I think the default settings are fine for the presentation purposes. So what I do want to show you is our Facebook share images. Our Facebook share images are customizable by you. And the Facebook share images are things that you can customize. We actually pull your logo automatically for your Facebook share images. And I personally think this is very important because this is the image that the friend gets tagged on Facebook first see. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Actually, let's go to the bigger one. Okay, so we spent the time, I'm actually on the board of this race, and we spent the time to make our own custom Facebook share image. We highlighted our logo in the bottom right-hand corner, and we have this awesome picture of kids running as superheroes. So if a participant is tagged, this is the image they're going to see. So I treat this like an advertisement because it is an advertisement. It's just a free advertisement, which is really nice. So what you can do to control this is you click on promotion, social sharing, and you scroll to the bottom of the page. At the bottom of the page, you have your Facebook share images. These Facebook share images that gives you the exact pixel sizes, and you can upload those images here, and that will control that. And you can decide by checking this box if you want to use the small share image or the large share image. Either one is fine. It's kind of up to what size image you're starting off with. So I think that everyone that has the capability to get the image in here should do it because this is you actually taking the effort to control the advertisement that your potential participant would see. So now that we've controlled the image and we kind of understand the messaging that they're going to be getting, well, okay, thanks, Brian. I still need to set it up. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on promotions, and then we're going to click on referral tracking, and we're going to click on setup. And under setup, so let's go ahead and de-check these things. The first option that we have is we're going to allow referral tracking, The next thing we're going to do is we're going to say automatically set up referrals for Facebook, Twitter, and other shared links. And the reason that we have that is because that automatically adds any socially shared links by that participant has their referral URL, which is unique to each participant, embedded into that share. After that, we can, generally speaking, ignore the top referrers widget or your Google Analytics campaign parameters. If you need those things or have questions about that, it'd probably be best to handle that with your account manager, and they can go over whether you would need those options or not. The next thing is that the real key to the secret to the race that I showed in the beginning of the presentation, that was having 13% of their registrations coming from this program, is money. And what we want to do is understand that if we offer a financial incentive, you're going to be somewhere between 7 to 9 to 10% of your registrations are coming from this program. If we don't offer a financial incentive, we're typically around 2 to 3% return. It's a significant difference in return, whereas if you offer people a refund based off the number of participants that they bring to your race versus not offering that. So our recommendation is to offer a refund to those participants. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk to you about some of the different, my opinions on what you may want to offer for a refund amount. The refund amount, how much you want to offer participants, is very personal because it is absolutely taking money out of your net and giving it back to participants. The way that I rationalize it in my mind is it's cost per acquisition. How much money is it going to cost me to acquire a new participant? And some race directors don't know what that is, and that's okay. You can just justify to say, how much money would I be willing to give to a gym, to anyone, if I only had to give them money if they got me 3 or more registrations. So generally speaking, what I recommend is about a quarter of your entry fee. So if you have a $60 entry fee, I recommend that you offer a $15 refund. And okay, so I understand that's a $15 refund. Well, how many registrations should that be for? Well, I generally recommend the barrier to be around 3. So if you think about 3 registrations and a $15 refund, it's going to cost me $5 per participant if you get 3 or more registrations. If that participant only gets me 1 registration or 2, there's no cost to me. Now, you can be more aggressive, and we do have races that are very aggressive, and this race is being aggressive. They're saying if you get us 5 registrations, which is very difficult to do, we will refund you $25. So that is probably on the more outside bounds of what many people would be comfortable with, and it's also very difficult for people to get to that 5 level, and essentially it's a full refund for this race. If you get us 5 participants, we'll give you a $25 refund, so it's a full refund. But that's kind of a personal balance, and we certainly can help you understand what you might be comfortable with and help you with setting that up and give you some suggestions. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk through what we're filling in here and help you understand what the system is doing. So let's start on the box on the left, and it says after registrant number blank registers based on a referral code. So it's asking us how many registrations do we want before we give someone a refund. So in this case, we're saying 5. The next question is, how much do we want to refund? Refund amount, $25. After that, the question is, are you offering any additional incentives if someone continues to acquire registrations for you? And that may sound crazy, but there are people, and I've seen, I was just looking at a report yesterday that had a registrant that had referred 11 registrations through their URL. So we probably want to continue to incentivize that person. Now, the caveat with this is that we cannot refund them any further than what they've paid. So if they paid $60 and we've refunded them $60, we cannot refund them any further. You may need to recognize them separately, but that is something that you would have to do outside of our system. We will automate the refund process up until their registration equals 0. So let me modify this. So let's say every 3 registrations, we're going to offer a $15 refund, And after that, every third additional set of registrations, meaning at 3 and 6 and 9, we'll refund an additional $15. And the insurer registration balance, I generally recommend being 0. The point of this is to say you cannot get a refund. What dollar amount do we need as a minimum paid for a participant? And some races may say, I don't want to refund anyone below $15 or $25. That's what this is here for. If you're okay with a participant continually going out and recruiting on your behalf, you may want to set that to 0, which is generally, when I'm consulting with clients, what I recommend. This last box over here, generally speaking, we can ignore this. This is kind of setting how many refunds you want to give for registration to a participant. So those are the settings. Once you get those set up, if you have multiple races, such as a 5K and a 10K and a half marathon, you can click Copy to Other Events, and this will change those settings across all the events. So you don't have to set them up across all. Now, one other caveat that is important to note is that you can ignore this, say for a kids race. We may not want to offer a refund for the kids race, so you could not offer that for that specific race, especially if it's low cost or no cost or something like that. So once we have all this set up, we're going to click Save at the bottom of the page. One of the more important things that we also need to do is we need to create a custom section on our race page to explain to participants, because this is a marketing tool for you. We want to tell participants what our rules are so that they're aware of it. And you also may want to market to participants. I've seen some aggressive campaigns where, offering if you get 5 friends to come, you get a $25 refund, which is essentially you get 5 friends and run for free. That's how you could potentially label some of these custom sections. So what we can do is we automatically add this section here called Get a Refund by Referring Friends. And it says refer 5 or more friends and get a refund up to $25. RunSignUp automatically adds this for you. There is no additional needs for you. So need for you to do this, but if you'd like to customize this further, you can add this custom section on there. Once you add this custom section, it's going to be added. You can add this to the confirmation email. You can also highlight this on your race page. So if we wanted to highlight this on our race page, we would go back to race page and custom content display, and we would say show this as a new menu item. We would hit save, and then let's update this information. And we would see right here, get a refund by referring friends. And we could make this more catchy, such as run for free or something like that if we wanted to. But the purpose of this is to make sure that it's front and center to the participants so that they can absolutely be aware of it. So I think we've gone over the refund setup and the referral setup. One of the other options that we do have is auto-generating coupons. This is something that some customers really do enjoy. It's not as popular as the refund. Most of the customers that we're working with are using the refund, but you do have the capability to auto-generate coupons. Let me explain what that is. If auto-generated coupons is if I tag Bob and Matt after I finish registering for the race, in the description that encourages Matt and Bob to register, it can also include an auto-generated coupon. So let me go ahead and set up a coupon. So I've got a coupon set up called Test, but let me add another one. I'll call it Share, and say it's good for 15% off, and it's good for an overall discount, and it applies to race registration fees. And I do understand I'm going faster, but that's kind of not the purpose of this particular webinar. So what I'm going to do is go back to Promotion, Referral Tracking, and Auto-Generated Coupons. And I'm going to say for the 5K race, I'm going to have a coupon code called SHARE. This is what we would call a root code. And a root code is a base code. And then what we're doing is we're going to add an automatically generated coupon code like SHARE12345. So it's going to be unique to each registration so we can track the effectiveness of it. We can also say that this coupon is only good for 48 hours. So we're trying to encourage Bob and Matt to register in a short period of time. And we could potentially add a subcode prefix. Generally speaking, you don't need to do that, but you could if you wanted to. And again, there's an option to copy to other events. So this is a way you could offer both a refund and automatic coupon code generation, or you could just offer automatic coupon code generation if you would like. And this is kind of another way to try to get people to encourage others to register, and not only is the original registrant getting a refund, but this new participant is getting 15% off in this scenario. Some people aren't as comfortable basically double discounting, so that's something for you to consider. So once we have all this information, what I wanted to show you guys is that we do have reporting on that. So I'm going to go over to Bob's Race. I'm going to show you guys how this works. So I'm going to click on Reports, and then Marketing Reports, and Referral Report. And within Referral Reports, what we're going to do is we're going to change this, because Scott Coffee just happened, so there's not a lot going on. Let's go back to say February 1st. So what I've done is I've changed this report to tell me referrals since a certain date, and you can set a specific date range or by event and different things like that. So you can look around and better understand this. So what I want to do is I want to take a look and see who my top completed registrants, who's my top referrer. Well, Diana is my top referrer. She referred 8 registrations for $280. That's really good. Now, I also can filter and sort by page views. I've got someone named Rob Marshall who got us 1 completed registration for $55, and he also got us 25 page views. There's a lot of information in here. You also can drill into the code, and then the code will tell you who that person referred. So you can learn quite a bit from that. My preference with this report is, generally speaking, I like to hit this button right here, which is that screenshot that I had at the very beginning of the presentation, which tells me how many referrals were set up, how many page views did I get, completed registrations, etc. I really like looking at this report. So that covers the referral codes. I'm imagining we'll have a bunch of questions to jump back into this later in the question section when I get to that, but I did have a couple other items that I wanted to cover before I jump into the question section. So I'm going to keep moving on the presentation, and then we can jump back into this when we have the question section. So the next section that I wanted to go over is under Promotions, Facebook. We have the option to add a registration button onto your Facebook page. And this is somewhat easy to do. There is one challenge to it, is that if you try to add a registration tab to a Facebook page that's not the correct type of page, such as an event page, it will not work. You also have to be an admin of that Facebook page. So if you're not an admin of the Facebook page, you cannot do this. But once you get added as an admin, it's a very simple process. So in the type of page, and Facebook has kind of changed their naming, but would generally be called a Facebook fan page. It's generally kind of the best understood type of page. So what I'm going to do is we would copy this URL, for example, and paste this in here if this is our Facebook page. And once we put that in there, we say add Facebook registration to your Facebook page. We select the page that we want to add, and then we hit add page tab. And this adds a sign up button right onto your Facebook page. If you wanted to see what that looks like, you can go to the Run Signup Facebook page, and you'll see a sign up button there. So it's a nice little call to action at the top of your fan page for participants to be able to sign up through Facebook. The last Facebook-related item that I did want to cover is the Facebook Pixel. This is a very new release. And a Facebook Pixel, the idea behind this is that if you are purchasing advertisements on Facebook, you do want to know how effective they are. And RunSignUp is your e-commerce platform. So you can go into the Facebook Ad Manager, grab your Facebook Pixel ID, and you're going to just insert that. So using the example, we would get this from the Ad Manager. This is our number. We insert this, and we hit save. And what this exactly does is it adds to the confirmation page some code that is run, and we return that this registration has come from Facebook, and Facebook then applies that. So this, again, would be a good example of something that you'd like to have an account manager set up or help you with in the beginning. but it is relatively easy to do if you want to try it on your own. It's literally just inserting that pixel ID. We did also add something with Twitter, and so Twitter is probably still a really relatively low amount of traffic that we have coming to Run Signup pages. But if you are interested in it, this is real easy to set up. You plug in your Twitter username. If your race has a hashtag, you would insert this, and then the race name is replaced in a tweet, and it's called. You can plug in, either your Twitter username or your hashtag. And to show you again what that kind of looks like is if we hit Twitter here, you can kind of customize some of the messaging that's shared on Twitter. And again, it's not too tough to set up. So that is everything that I wanted to cover today. I intentionally left a fair amount of time for questions because I had a feeling that a lot of people would have questions. So I've got the questions pulled up here. The first question we have is, will this presentation be available afterwards? Absolutely. We're recording this presentation. It'll be emailed out to everyone who registered for the webinar. So many of the people that are watching this may not be watching it live, but they'll be able to watch it later. So we cover that. So Justin has a really good question. Justin asked, can the referral programs be done after people have already signed up? So the answer is yes. And what we're going to do is under referral menu tracking, we're going to click on promotion. We're going to click on referral tracking. We're going to click on menu. And then we are going to click on setup referral tracking. So I went a little too fast there. We're going to click on setup referral codes for existing registrations. We would select the events that we want, and that would generate that. After you generate those referral codes, you would send an email out to all the participants. You would need to use what's called, we have a replacement tag for referral links. So you would send an email out to all your participants using our email system, and you would then use a replacement tag for referral refunds or referral links. So you would then copy the link here, this replacement tag. You would actually insert this entire thing into your email, and you would send an explanation to your existing participants that you have a referral program. Here's your URL. Share it with your friends. So you absolutely can do this with friends after this. All right. So I'm just kind of going through the questions here. So for referral refunds, how are refunds handled for registrations imported from a registration platform? So this question comes from Tony, and again, I'm going to repeat it. He's saying, I have registrations from another registration platform. Can I participate in the refund program? And the answer is no, because we do not have a credit card on file for that participant. So you can use the referral program, but you would have to handle the refund separately outside of our system. We've got one, let's see. Next question is there a way to allow registrants to put a coupon code from paper coupons on the site? I'm not really understanding that question. Matt, do you have any suggestion on that one?
Paper referral? Yeah.
I see. I think we'll handle that question separately. I think we'll shoot you an email and see if I can get some clarification on that one. I'm not 100% understanding that. Are we charged a processing fee on refunds done through the Referral Refund program? You are not charged a processing fee on refunds done through the referral program. That's a good point. So the next question is, when do you recommend we start promoting an event? Depends on the size of the event, but generally speaking, you want to have a large push starting at 3 months or so outside of your event. Longer distance events, you probably want to start at about 6 months, but you definitely want to have a big push starting at 90 days or so out from your race. Next question is, have you guys seen a large difference in signups between the referrals that offer coupons versus those that do not offer coupons. So again, the question is that do we see a large difference in signups between referrals that offer coupons versus those that do not offer coupons? I personally have not worked with many races that have used the coupons. I have not seen any success with it. Not to say that it can't be done, but it seems like the refund to the original participant is going to tag 10 or 15 participants that they think they could get a $15, $25 refund. Seems to drive more behavior than the coupon itself. Again, I'd like to know if anyone's had success with the generating the coupon, but I personally have not had any conversations with anyone that has. So, so the next question is for referral monies that have already been paid out, are we out of luck if there's a chargeback and the referral falls below the threshold? Yes, yes. So you are taking a risk that someone, we've done some protections to try to prevent people from being able to kind of cheat the system and get a refund, but it is possible that someone could do a chargeback and you would already have paid that refund back. The next question is that, is there a recommendation about whether to do a referral refund for each registration versus triggering them every, say, 5 registrations? So this is definitely an interesting question, and again, I'm going to repeat it. Is there a recommendation about doing a refund for each registration versus triggering them, say, every 5 registrations? If you give one for every registration, you'd probably need to be much less aggressive on the amount of money. So therefore, I think psychologically you would say, oh, well, maybe you offer them $3 per registration or $5 per registration, etc. Those types of things would be, I think psychologically it's better to have a larger amount of money, such as $10, $15, $25 versus doing it for every registration. We've had some races that have tried it on every registration, but at the $2 and $3 level, and they did not have the success of the larger 3 to 5 registration threshold. And so the next question is, can you use referrals and coupons simultaneously, or do you have to use one or the other? Again, the question is, can you use referrals and coupons simultaneously, or can you use one or the other? You can use both of them simultaneously, absolutely. So regarding refund amounts, if there are multiple events and therefore multiple registration costs, you recommend using the most expensive amount to determine the 25%. So the question is, if you have multiple races, i.e. a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon, do you use the 25% off the most expensive event, which would likely be the half marathon, say in the $60, $70, $80 range? You can actually decide your refund amount on a per event basis. Now, there is a caveat to that. The caveat is that my referral refund is based off the event that I register for. And if I refer friends and they sign up for a less expensive event, it's still crediting me because I signed up for the more expensive event. So you can kind of use the rough 25% rule. And again, if you're getting down to $20, $25, you probably can't use the 25% rule. But you can set rules on a per event basis, and you could skip the kids race or skip the 5K if you just weren't comfortable with that amount of money. I've personally not seen anybody lose a lot of money with this program because it is literally pay for what you get. So participants have to refer paid registrations in order for you to have to pay a refund. So the next question is when deciding how much money to refund for our referral code, do you see a potential downside to offering more money refunded in exchange for referred registrations, being that people may see the higher threshold and not take effort to reach it? So this question is kind of saying, if you have a high threshold like 5 registrations to get a full refund, do people just say, I can't reach that, so therefore I'm not going to try? I think the number of people, what I've seen for races that have turned that on at a high level, like 5 registrations, is that there are less people participating in it from a percentage standpoint. but the people that are participating seem to be very engaged. And what I think that means is that those people are committed to try to get those 5, and they're going to work hard at it, which is essentially one of the terms that I did not use and I did not cover was this system could be used as an ambassador program. And so if you went to a gym that says, I'll get you 25 registrations, you could manually add a referral code for them and give them their link, and then that link could be used for that gym to track how many registrations they come from. So I do not personally think that having a high threshold hurts you, but it does definitely deter the number of people that are going to participate. So our event offers options for teams to register. Does each team member get a separate referral code, or is the referral code only for the person that sets up the team?
Depends on how the team breaks it up.
So this question, again, is for teams. Do each member of the team have separate referral codes? If each member of the team is registering individually, 100% yes. There's some variables if it's relays and one person signing up that person for the relay and things like that. So yes, if each person is registering, maybe, or no, if one person is signing up everyone on the team. All right, getting some good questions. So when someone signs up for race A, can we give a coupon that encourages them to sign up for race B? You cannot encourage someone to sign up for a separate race with a coupon. So the question is, if I sign up for race A, can we give them a coupon to encourage them to sign up for race B? There is some things that you could do in confirmation emails and things like that. We also could talk to you about registration rewards, which could be a set of coupon codes based off the event that they register for. Again, that term is called registration rewards, and if you use our search term, you could check that out. So how do I find the link to use if I want to make a post on Facebook announcing the referral option? So the question is, how do I find the link to use if I want to make a post on Facebook announcing the referral option? So this question is actually, the link is unique to each participant, so you would want to set up all those referral links unique to each participant. You could announce just generally that you have a Facebook, a referral program. Once you enable the referral program and set up those referral codes for past registrants, participants can get that link by you emailing it to them, or they could get it through their profile under what's it called, My Referrals, yeah, under My Referrals in their profile. So we have a follow-up question about, and I think it's probably good to clarify this, which is some people weren't clear as to what I meant by 25% of, the referral refund being 25%. What I mean is, let's just use $100 for easy numbers. If you had a $100 entry fee, I would recommend your refund amount be at least $25. So you're giving back 25% of your entry fee back to that person, but you would want to have a threshold of that of 3 or 4 or something like that before giving that large amount. You just want to have a number that is interesting. So the next question is that this is actually, I really appreciate this question. I had forgot to do this. We had someone that asked about the Run Signup conference, and I really appreciate the person asking this because Run Signup does have a conference going on. That conference is in Philadelphia in July. I'm on the Run Signup homepage, and on our homepage there's a button that says RD/Timer Symposium, and it has all the details about it. The purpose of the conference is just like this webinar, is to give you guys the opportunity to learn more about Run Signup. We constantly get feedback that people want more content, they want more information, and we want to give that to you. And we're working on some additional training documents and how-to videos. But this conference is going to be an opportunity for you to learn a lot more about Run Signup, to network with peers. There's also going to be people like the Broad Street Run. Jim Marino is going to be a keynote speaker for us, talking about how he organizes the Broad Street Run, which is over 30,000 people on a 10-mile run in the city of Philadelphia. It's going to be in Philadelphia, July 18th to 20th, with the main session being July 19th. We really hope that some of you could make it. And we will be having individual sessions if you'd like to get training sessions individually with account managers and various different team members who will be able to help you with your race. So we've had a race that set up referral codes, and they're saying that no one is using it. Without looking at the race specifically, I have seen this with some races where referral codes are not used. Generally speaking, the reason that I've seen that referral codes are used low or not at all is because the participants are not aware of it, as well as not offering a financial incentive. So if you offer a financial incentive, the usage rate is much higher than if you do not offer an incentive. If it's not that case, if you are offering a financial incentive, there needs to probably be some participant education and emails sent out to them. And if you have done that, let's definitely talk and figure out what's going on with that, because generally we are seeing people kind of engage in that. The next question we have is, how are participants notified once they hit the threshold for their refund? They are sent an email that lets them know that they have reached their referral refund threshold and that a refund will be coming to them for X amount of dollars within the next 2 to 3 business days, and we automate that process for you. You do not have to send anything. Now, you may want to recognize your top referring participant at your rates, but that's your choice. We absolutely automate the money return as well as the email sent to them to let them know. One of the questions is saying, is there any way for volunteers to participate in the referral program or some way of invoicing them in the recruitment process? There's not a way to do this with volunteers. It's something we could think about, but I'm not really sure how we do that, since absolutely we, generally speaking, don't have volunteers paying money, so therefore we wouldn't be able to give them any refunds, but that's something to think about. So we have someone else that's saying that their registrations are lagging behind, and this is something that we're hearing from many different race directors, and I think all of us know that there's quite a number of races out there, probably a few more than there needs to be, and it's creating some market confusion, and there's some really great races out there, and there's some less great races, and it's hurting some good established races because they're trying hard to get above all the races on the calendar in their area. And this race director is asking if I've heard that we shouldn't increase the referral amount mid-race, so are there other things that you would recommend to increase incentives to get people to refer us? If registration wasn't going particularly well, but you did seem to have some traction with referral refunds, I would think hard about actually increasing that amount and engaging those existing referrers who are participating in the program and really ask them to promote their link again and consider giving them more money. I think it does look slightly disorganized and maybe like you're a little desperate. I totally understand that, but these people seem to be engaged already, so maybe you can specifically target those people and say, we think you're doing such a great job, we want to offer you more money. So one of the questions we had, and I did mean to cover this, so I'm going to jump back into this, is we had a question, and I think there's many races that have this in some shape or fashion, what's called an ambassador program. An ambassador program is different than this, than the referral refund program, because typically these are people that you've had a personal conversation with who they may run in the race, but they're there to go to gyms, they're there to go to running clubs or triathlon clubs and encourage people to register. And we can actually automate the tracking of that. So what you can do is under Manage Codes, you can add a referral code. You can plug in ambassador, plug in the email of that person, and add a referral, this is going to send that person an email. It's going to give them their unique referral link. Then they can print that out or put it on their website, share it socially, whatever they would like to do. And we will automatically track the number of registrations, page views, etc. The only thing that we cannot handle for these ambassador programs, because we don't have a credit card on file, generally speaking, for them, would be whatever deal that you strike with them, $10 a registration, etc. You would have to handle that offline, but you would absolutely have a report for that person with the participants that they got registered through their URL. And I do see some races starting to use that more. So, and this other question was the exact same thing. So I think I've got through the majority of the questions that came in today. I really appreciate everyone submitting the questions, and just like I thought we would have lots of questions and lots of good questions. I appreciate everyone coming and taking the time to understand this. We've got one more question is what someone's telling me. What's that last question? Well, it looks like we've got through all the questions. I think I covered that one that came in last. So this video will be recorded and sent out to everyone. I appreciate everyone coming, and look for another one in July right before our conference, and potentially a hot feature release with our photo program before then. Thank you again, and hope you guys have a great day.